guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mother Daze podcast. I am your host, Sarah Wright Olson.
I'm Teresa Palmer, and I'm Ocean, and I'm also here.
And I'm here. I literally tried to lay her down a second ago, and she just started screeching so loud at me. I was like, oh my God.
She was like, how dare you? We are one, you and I.
So you want to be on camera. Okay.
She's like, I'm ready for my moment to shine. The Daisies love Ocean appearances, so we're very excited that she's here. And we have another amazing guest here today, don't we, Sarah?
Yes, we do. We're really feeling, okay, we're getting into the back to school. We're going to start slipping in that fall time of year, at least here in America. And what do you call it in Australia this time of year?
Autumn. You're going into autumn.
We're going into autumn. But what are you guys going into?
So we're coming out of winter.
So you're going into spring.
Is that right? Yeah, we're coming out now, aren't we? Or we got a little bit longer.
Okay. So you're in winter, but we're going into autumn, which is like that time of year where it's Halloween is going to be coming up, and I feel all the portals get opened, the veils get thinner,
that's right, the witchiness.
That witchy time of year. And so we thought, with all the baby madness that we've been doing lately, it's time for us to get back into our witchy goodness.
Yes.
And we're so excited today to have Polly Staniford with us. She's like an epic producer, but she also happens to be a tarot card reader. And she's had so many amazing projects: creative producer, writer, director. Aquarius Films is your company, correct?
Correct. Thank you.
And movies like, I don't know, Berlin Syndrome. I think we know somebody who is in that.
Oh my God. Only my favorite movie that I've ever been in, by the way, was produced by Polly.
So wild. Holy cow.
And Lion was an amazing achievement for Aquarius, wasn't it? That was Nicole Kidman. And and based on a beautiful true story. That was amazing.
Thank
you guys have done so much. They're like a very extremely prolific producing company out of Australia and have made a lot of waves internationally with their work, like a lot of recognition, and it's so cool. And the reason I've known Polly obviously for years, but a little known fact is that, and I only discovered this, I would say a year ago, Polly and I were working together on a TV show called Mixtape in Sydney. And I think Polly's always known that I'm really big into like manifesting in the universe and all that sort of stuff. But what I didn't know is that Polly's also into all of this stuff. And we got talking this one night. Do you remember we were at Bondi Beach?
Oh my God, it was so funny. And we kept getting in trouble from the first AD because we were just like...
we started going so deep, and we were meant to be working and filming, but she started telling me these unbelievable stories about a friend of hers and all this stuff and the things that she can tap into and see and the work she's been doing. And I was like, wait a second, Polly, what? I did not know this about you. What are you talking about? And then you sort of said back then, I guess it was like 18 months ago when we filmed, you were like, I want to lean more and more into this work. Like I'm being called to lean more into this work. And I'm like, here's this very successful, prolific woman who's like smashing it in the Australian film industry. And then there's this whole other side of you that like you don't necessarily think those two career paths really go hand in hand. So I was very excited to hear about this. And I want to ask you about that transition and why you felt called to lean further into this work, where it came from, all of that sort of stuff. So please enlighten us.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me on the pod. Very excited to be here. I guess, for me, I've always been really intuitive. Like ever since I was a kid, I was like into nature and crystals and, witchy kind of stuff. And then I think, as you get older, you kind of, I think we're taught as women to kind of, that's kind of woo woo and it's not real. It's sort of, I don't know, I feel like I just got caught up in the world and becoming, a woman. And it just, I think back when I was a teenager and a young woman in my 20s, this wasn't really something that people did. It was very kind of over there. And I feel like in the last maybe 5 to 10 years, particularly around COVID, a lot of people started to find their kind of intuitive powers again. And I've always read tarot, but it's always been something I've done for friends and family. And I just started to go, hang on a minute, like why don't I kind of just show this side of me? Why is it kind of hidden and secret? And it's something that I kept getting drawn to. Like I'm a big believer in signs and synchronicities, and I just kept getting this calling to kind of gather women and do women's circles and connect to intuition and pull tarot cards for people. And the more I did it and the more I loved it, the stronger the call got. And I'd lost a couple of friends over the years, and that had sort of made me ask bigger questions about, why are we here? And, if you've only got this short time on earth, what is your kind of what is your big calling? What's your kind of mission? And I was doing a lot of soul searching. And I don't know, I feel like the cards and the intuitive side of me always felt like kind of a balm when I was feeling lost. They always really helped me find clarity. I'd always gone and seen healers when I was young as well, and it'd always given me a real sense of purpose and kind of direction. But then I think it was losing one particular friend. I went to see a Reiki healer, and that really cracked something open for me. It was like she opened my third eye, and I was suddenly like getting all these like really deep signs and connecting with the other side. And it was almost too much. Like I had to kind of close that side off a bit because it was so full on. Like I was getting so many messages and so many signs. But then I started doing women's retreats. So about 4 years ago, I was like, okay, maybe I can build this into my life more where I can do women's retreats. So I started doing retreats with a friend of mine, Rhea, who's another healer and psychic medium. And we started running these retreats, out of Sydney in the country for like weekends where women would come together and would meditate and we'd journal and we'd, connect to our intuitive sides. And that was so beautiful because the power of the women's circle is so it's so strong. Once you gather, one woman's story heals yours and your story heals theirs and vice versa. And I was at a retreat, I never forget it. It was in Wiseman's Ferry, a little small town just out of Sydney. And it was the last day of the retreat. And I just had this voice. It was like as if someone was right next to me and it just said, you need to redirect your life. And I was like, what?
Whoa.
And it really like shook me to my core because it was like this deep knowing of something not being aligned or something not kind of working. And I really sat with it for a while. I didn't know what it meant. But what I realized is that I was what I realized at that point was that I was kind of running on empty. Like I built this company. It was really successful. It was going really well. I loved what I was doing, but there was just something that was missing. And I kind of, when I started to dig into that, I realized that actually this side of me, this intuitive side, this tarot side, it actually is very connected to storytelling. It actually isn't, and you were saying at the beginning, Teresa, they're quite different things. They're actually really similar. And, stories are like my North Star. They always have been. I'm a storyteller at heart, but actually the cards tell stories. And I think it was that epiphany of like, actually, this is another way of telling stories. This is another way of connecting to people. I always use cards on set and I use it with my film projects to kind of, dive into meaning because it's all about archetypes. It's all about kind of symbols and signs, which is what stories are. And I think when I realized that and I realized that I could combine the two, it was a real epiphany. And I've just loved opening that side of me up and kind of taking off those masks and just being really authentic with who I am. And people love it. It's a real connector. Like when you bring the tarot cards out on set or you tell people that you do this work, actually it draws people to you. Like people really love it because they're either into it or they're intrigued by it. So it's been a really beautiful kind of blossoming. Yeah.
That's right. There's a real curiosity.
Yeah, totally. So now I still do film and TV, but I'm also doing more readings and kind of mentoring and intuitive guidance and really helping people kind of figure out what their story is.
Has that made you more selective with the projects that you are taking
Absolutely.
on? Would you say you're doing a little bit less of the film and TV and you've got more of a work-life balance and a balance with, these two different ways of working?
Yeah, I'm kind of still figuring that all out and figuring out what the balance is. I'm writing a couple of things that I'm really passionate about and kind of really leaning into that more creative side of the producing as well and being more selective about the kinds of projects that I want to tell, right? Because it's like I want them to sort of feel connected to this idea of like the magic in the world and connection and love and making shows and films that feel like there's somehow a link to this other part of me. And it's amazing how actually when you look at the projects that I've done, there is that link. They've all got something a little bit magic about them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It makes it more meaningful rather than just, you're a part of the rat race and you're just churning out project after project.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get like smaller, cool, interesting independent films and TV shows made. I know, certainly in America, I'm friends with lots of independent filmmakers and it's really hard because it's like such a dollars game in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, well, will that make money? And it takes some of that meaning out of the project. So it feels so beautiful. It's almost like you've been afforded this opportunity. You've had the success.
Yeah.
You guys have proved yourself as a company. And now you're in the place where you can pick and choose a little bit more and make sure that there's that underlying messaging in the work that you're putting out in the world. That must feel so good.
It feels so good. It feels like everything I've done kind of led to this point. And I think it's just really important that you always look at your own story and go, where am I in my kind of life story? And am I happy? And am I doing the right thing? And where can I shift things? And it's been a beautiful kind of discovery to kind of really, figure out who I am. And it's just amazing how much connection there is between the two things. Like literally, all the tools that I use to shape character and story and narratives, I now use with people. Like it's just using the exact same tools, but turning it around to a person instead of a story. So actually, the more I've dived into this world and the more I've sort of started doing it, I've just realized the connections. Like you can literally take the same approach to a story as you can to a person and look at their narrative. It's amazing.
And when you're reading with the cards, like, do you have specific cards that you use that you're like, okay, these are my go-to because I've sort of put my energy on them? Or do you have a few different decks? And when you're like reading someone with the tarot, are you able to see things? Or is it that the cards sort of tell you the story and you're kind of giving information that's like, just so curious how it works.
Yeah. I've been collecting decks for like the last 20 years. I've got over 100 decks.
Get out.
So I've got lots of tarot decks. Yeah. I've got like this beautiful cabinet over here. You can't see it, but it's filled with all different tarot and oracle decks. So when I travel, I collect them and friends always buy them for me. But I do have a couple of favorites. So I've got a tarot deck that I use. These are the Wandering Star Tarot. And I love these because they're just beautiful images and they really speak to me. But then it just depends on the day. Like some days I'll be like, I feel like pulling out the numerology today, or today I feel like I need to know what I need to surrender.
Yeah.
Or today I need to really know what animal kind of guidance, is going to help me. So it just depends. And I always ask clients too, what do you like? Do you like angels? Do you like numbers? Do you like animals? Do you like shamanic? And I'll kind of pull cards that they like. But each one offers something different. I mean, the tarot are traditional. They have all the same cards in each tarot deck, but different artists who create the kind of images and the sort of meanings. But essentially, they're the same cards in every deck. Whereas oracle cards can be anything from kind of crystals to, shamanic medicine to numerology or whatever. So they all have different wisdom. And I love the stories that they tell. For me, it's a story. It's like you kind of look at all the cards and you look at the meanings.
Wow.
And you kind of go, okay, what's this story telling me about this person? And in terms of messages, I don't see things, but I feel things. So I get these kind of knowings that drop in. And it's very hard to describe how or why they happen. But when I'm with people, things drop in. So sometimes I do get messages from loved ones. Other times I just sort of know things. And I just always have this philosophy that you just share what you know. And, more often than not, it resonates and makes sense. So it's very hard to explain how it happens because it doesn't happen when you're not with them. It only happens when you're there, either on Zoom or in person. You just get these knowings that drop in.
It gives me chills. Do you like make it part of like a day, like some people get up and they like meditate or, do a workout or like have a coffee and like write in a journal? Like, is that part of your daily practice that you sort of
Absolutely.
go to your cards?
Yeah. Every morning I get up early. I come out, got a little cabin in the garden at my home. And I'll have a tea and I'll meditate for 20 minutes. I've been doing transcendental meditation for the last 5 years. And that has changed my life. That has been amazing. It's the same meditation that David Lynch used to do. And I read his book about it. And I just went, okay, I've got to try that.
That's right. I read his book too.
Isn't it amazing?
No.
And that I've meditated my whole life, but that particular kind of meditation where it's 20 minutes twice a day, you have a personal mantra, that has really helped me kind of just anchor into my kind of I guess, my intuition and my kind of higher self. And then I journal. So I'll journal and I'll pull some cards for the day. And yeah, it really helps me kind of anchor into where I'm at.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Feels like this has up-leveled your life in every single way.
Sounds amazing too.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I just love it so much. And it just feels so nice to be authentic as well, because it wasn't like I was deliberately hiding that side of me, but I guess it felt like, not everyone's into this, so I won't share it. I'll just kind of do it for my friends.
There can be a stigma.
Yeah. But then recently I was like, hang on a minute.
I still hide my tarot deck from my mum. Every time I know that she's like going to come into my bedroom, I'm like, quick, hide the tarot deck. My like religious guilt about like having tarot, which is deemed to be evil from, my mother.
Yeah. It's not a Ouija board, but yes.
oh my God. I was so Ouija board curious.
So was I.
So was
when I was young. Whereas now I'm like,
scared me to death.
Yeah. I know. So how does that work? Do you ever get worried that if you open up the portal too much, that negative stuff can come in as well? This is my fear. Like, I started really trying to open up. I'm like, I am ready. I'm going to go full Polly Staniford mode. And then there's that part of me, I think because I listen to so much true crime podcasts, whatever, blah, blah.
Right.
But also I listen to this podcast called Spooked, and it's all like everything is like hauntings and spirits. And I was like, if you open yourself up in this one way, are you also then open to that kind of energy coming in? And if so, no, thank you. Goodbye. Running away forever. Retreat.
Yeah, I think you have to be really careful. Like, I think, like I said at the beginning, like when I first started and I had this experience after seeing this Reiki healer with my third eye opened, and suddenly I was like hearing spirits and seeing things and the stuff. That really freaked me out. And I did have a few really weird experiences where I was in a meeting at Aquarius in the board meeting with the writer, and I was just getting this like full message for her from a spirit. And in the end I was like, oh my God, I've just got to say it because it's so loud. It was like trying to get my attention so much that I told her. And I was thinking she's going to think I'm completely mad, but it was someone she knew, and it was a really like clear message. But it really kind of because I didn't know how to turn it off. It was just there all the time, so it was like this very loud kind of interference. And so I really had to shut that off. And now I'm really conscious of when I do healings or when I do sessions of really protecting my energy before it starts. Like, I'll always put that kind of energetic protection around me, and then I'll cleanse the space when they leave, because I've had experiences where people have left and I've had things happen afterwards where I'm like, oh, okay, someone's still here. And that's been a bit freaky. So you do have to really, you have to make sure you're really clear about who you're calling in, and making sure that the people who you're calling in are here for your best intentions or for the person, and just doing all that kind of energetic work to make sure that the space is safe. But I've done a lot of work on that. I used to get sick after every Reiki healing I did because I was taking on that person's energy. And then I realized, okay, if I'm going to do this work, I have to really protect myself. Otherwise, you're kind of, you're taking on their energy and releasing it for them, but you're kind of holding it yourself. So I've done lots of work in that to try and figure out how to hold that energy, but then let it go.
The reason I'm going to ask this question is because they say that empaths do that, where they like take on energy from people, and it can really be a lot. Like, there's certain kids that I have that I can see that, big things like really affect them, and they take things on. And I'm like, how do I teach them to really protect their, themselves so that they don't take that energy on? Like, what do you do? Because I feel like that would apply the same way.
Yeah, my kids are the same. They both take on a lot. I mean, I've always been an empath, and it's been a big journey, particularly in the film industry, right, where there's lots of big energy and big ego and big personalities, to kind of go, okay, I need to protect myself. And it's taken me years, so it's hard for kids, but it's for me, it's about kind of just getting really settled in myself and just imagining almost that there's this sort of almost like I imagine this kind of white light, almost like a white egg cocoon around me, protecting my energy. But it's hard. I mean, everyone's got different ways of doing it. I do a lot of, I smoke and cleanse every day with sage. So it just, there's different tools you can do, but it is, I mean, a lot of it is about intention as well, about kind of going, I am not going to let anyone else's energy come into my field. Thank you, but you can stay out there. And it is almost like that constant kind of like talking to yourself and to your kind of field. I've been going on this massive deep dive lately around energy and consciousness. It's another conversation for another day, but it's all about how you build those energetic
boundaries
around you. Yeah, and boundaries.
That's such a good thing to protect your kid, like to help your kids protect themselves and open up that conversation with them as well. My kids are very open to all this stuff and actually extremely intrigued in all of it. So I feel like that's an important conversation to have with them. Yeah. I spent far too many years like being the sounding board for everyone. And then at some point you're like it's like a sponge, like people just siphon. And you're like you're giving so much of your time and your energy to someone who's, stuck in an endless cycle of like the same destructive patterns, and no matter what you do or how you try and help them, it's like it's really draining. Hi, Ocean.
Sorry, I'm just distracted by that cute little face.
So you brought some.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself because we were getting a little fussy over here.
Oh, we're getting fussy. You brought your favorite deck to the pod today, is that right?
Yes,
is that the Wandering? Is it called Wandering Star? You said?
Yeah, it's Wandering Star. So Kat here, she's
so cool.
I think she's American actually. She's amazing. She's got this great Instagram, but her cards are so beautiful. You can see the images; they're just so pretty,
so gorgeous. So gorgeous.
Story. This is so crazy. So yesterday a friend sent me this photo. Like I'm a big believer in signs. Like I get signs every day from everywhere.
So are we.
And this friend sent me this image yesterday. She's like, oh my God, I came out to my front door and by my bin was this like collection of like playing cards, and they're just fallen onto the ground, but two were facing up, and one was the Joker and one was the Queen of something. I can't remember what it was now, but basically tarot cards used to be played with playing cards, right? So playing cards actually represent the tarot suits, and the Joker is the Fool. So I was like, oh my God, this is all about new beginnings. Yes. This is so perfect with the new moon coming. And then I got home last night after kind of telling her about what the cards meant, and I pulled out my dog food from the bottom cupboard, and this card fell out, and it was the Joker. And I was like,
no,
what? Like, where did this card even come from? Before I got on the call today, no joke, I'm not joking, so there's two fools. Like I said, this is like double full energy, and the new moon this week is all about massive new beginnings.
Wow.
I literally pulled my cards out before I got on this call, and I was like, okay, what's the energy for this call? What's the energy that we're going to talk about? Guess what I pulled? The Fool.
No.
Yeah, and so that's 3 fools in like 24 hours that I've pulled. So I'm like, not the first one I didn't pull, but still it's like this real energy of like new beginnings. Crazy, right?
Wow. That is so funny. That definitely resonates with me, since I'm like about to embark in this new beginning.
Yeah. Well, you're about to cross a massive threshold
with my baby. And then also Sarah's like deep in her postpartum right now with her new baby as well.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
That is so unbelievable.
I know.
Okay, so while Sarah's getting Ocean set up,
do I'm going to pull you some cards, Dee.
Want to pull some cards, and then you can do her afterwards?
Oh my God, guess what just jumped out for you? Because cards jump out, it's like a really strong message, right? And so when they jump out, it's always like, okay, this is a really potent message. You got the Mother Star.
What?
Yeah, and it says yes on the bottom. And the Mother Star is actually, so in this deck of cards, she has, I think, 2 cards that aren't part of the traditional tarot, and this is one of them. And this is like a massive yes energy. So it's like, I mean, the Mother Star, hello, you're about to give birth. But it's also all about kind of saying yes to new opportunities, like, following those kind of intuitive nudges. Like, it's a real kind of card of like surging energy and new beginnings and lots of exciting things kind of coming in. So
I feel like Sarah and I are both in that headspace. Like even with the podcast and things that we're developing and doing, like there's a lot of newness floating around right now, which feels really cool.
Okay, you also got the Chariot. So
Chariot. Okay,
you're getting all these major arcana as well. And you also got the Fool. The Fool jumped out for you as well. So it's like, this is like
God,
the Fool.
Get out.
The Fool energy is crazy. So the Chariot's all about things really speeding up. It's about momentum. It's about this idea of like, once things start to shift and once you jump on, it's like, boom, you're off. So there's this real sense of things speeding up for you. So even though you're about to go into this kind of portal of birth,
I'm so in that headspace.
I feel like actually this birth, you're going to be really busy. I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I feel like you're going to give birth, but there's going to be lots of things happening around you, like when you're given birth.
It actually already feels like that.
You know what I mean? Like it's not, of course you're going to be, you're going to be in that little bubble of baby, but I also feel like weirdly it's going to coincide with like creative projects and kind of new opportunities and things coming in. And so, the Fool card too, it's like a new beginning. So I think it's about for you, like making sure that you only say yes to the things that really feel aligned. You want to make sure you give yourself that time with the baby and everything. But also I feel like it's this really exciting time where things are speeding up for you. And so it's about having to balance that kind of new beginning of the new baby with all the things that are coming in.
It's so funny. Energetically, I feel like that. I'm like, I'm meant to be slowing down. But then it's like last night I stayed up and Sarah and I are working on these new things right now for the Mother Daze. And I was getting so excited about all these different possibilities. And I was like, oh my God, I could just feel this like surge in me. And there's a few other really interesting creative projects that I'm looking into. I've got a phone call after this to talk about like another like production thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm definitely feeling that at the moment.
Also, this is your 5th child. So like, come on, you'll be like able to juggle those, right?
I know. Yeah. Baby on the tit. Just go for
it. This isn't your first rodeo. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you also got action. There's like all this, there's this real sense of like swirling energy, like real fiery kind of energy for you. There's like this image of the ocean and the sun and the clouds. And there's this real sense of like things churning and things moving. And then I also pulled the 7 of Cups, which is about like choice. There's all these different choices and things coming in for you. I feel like this is going to be a really abundant time of like so much stuff happening for you. Like, like it's crazy. You're having a baby and most people would be going into this beautiful kind of bubble of like doing nothing for a while. But I feel like for you, actually, it's going to be this like,
I know,
like explosion.
I wanted that for myself. I was like, let's just be slow. But then I just cannot help it. I feel like I'm literally getting signs all around me like, oh my God, it's go time. Like what?
Yeah. Really, truly.
Wow.
Like, maybe pull in numerology and see what the numbers say. Because I love numbers. I'm obsessed with like number messages.
Me too.
Okay. What's your number? I like to wait for a jumper. Come on, Spirit. There you go. Okay. What have you got? Oh my God. You're not going to believe what you got. Have a guess. Just like really tune in to what you think you might have.
I just said in my head, I got an 8. I got an 8.
It out loud.
I just said it out loud.
Yeah.
I knew I got an 8. That's so weird. I've got 4.
But also 8 is her like lucky number. That's like her like favorite number.
It's my infinity.
This is
that
your
is so
time.
crazy.
Like, this is your time. Like I feel like there's this enormous. It's like you're not just birthing the baby. You are birthing this whole new thing. It's like I feel like there's actually a big change for you with this baby too. It's like that process of giving birth is gonna like completely unlock something for you.
Oh my God, I could cry. That was so crazy. I just knew I got an 8.
I know,
that was
right?
so weird. Full body chills.
These cards are really, really powerful, T. Like I feel like, it really just, and don't overthink it. Don't try and figure out what it all is. Just go with it because you'll be guided by your intuition as to what's right. But there's this definitely this sense of like this amazing new beginning for you. So maybe exciting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'll photograph these quickly and then I can send it to you after the call too.
Amazing. Oh my God, I'm dying to hear Sarah's cards.
Okay. Put these back and I'll do Sarah now. Okay.
Wow. Obsessed. I'm sweaty. Okay. Me and Sarah are obsessed with this. Like we love this stuff so much.
Yeah, I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah. Oh my God, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
I'm just going to pull 3. Oh my gosh, you guys are both getting like major arcana. You're both at these big turning points. Like when you get major arcana cards, it's like there's big things happening.
Oh my God.
Okay. You got the Star.
Ooh, what's that?
You got Judgment. So these are 2 really big cards. No, Judgment's good. It's like judgment's like this,
great.
it's kind of like awakening, but it's about really kind of assessing, where am I at? What do I want? Where am I going? Like it's kind of like it can be self-judgment, but it's about looking at yourself and kind of going, which parts of me do I love and which parts of me are kind of shifting and changing, and where am I going? But the stars are card of beauty. It's like a card of success, and like it's your time to shine, and it's time to come back into your kind of power and your truth, and like really believing that there's something kind of good out there for you. Then you've got 3 of Wands and 6 of Swords. So 3 of Wands is kind of like looking to the horizon and kind of going, like, what's coming in for me? Like it's a real card of like adventure and luck. So I feel like, are you looking to kind of get back into acting and kind of opportunities soon, or like, is there anything coming up? There's this sense of like, you've also got the 6 of Swords, which is kind of moving on. But for you, what I get with that card is like, have you been feeling a bit kind of, like a bit not down in the dumps, but a bit kind of like unsure about where you're going, or a bit kind of like, like just kind of reassessing things, I suppose?
Yeah, I would say for sure in terms of like I really do want to do acting projects again that I like, that are exciting, that I love, that I feel inspired by, but I don't just want to do anything. So that's where my holdup has been over the last like few years, is like, if I'm going to leave my kids like for even a short amount of time, like, or if they're going to come with me and I'm going to uproot them, I want it to be something that's like
Worthy.
so
And
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
How's your self-talk and your kind of inner critic and your inner voice?
Well, currently I've been a little hard on myself. But it's weird. I think where it's coming from, and I just sort of figured this out, but I think like I'm in a hurry to get to like, okay, I feel great. I feel like myself again. But I think it's because there's so many shifts that happened in my life this year with like our move and the fire that happened and everything. We lost our home.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
I think it's because we're sort of I'm like gonna be finding my way back into myself after being pregnant and after losing my home in the fire and all of our stuff. So it just feels like it feels like I'm in a hurry and I need to give myself grace. Like I don't need to hurry, you know?
Yeah. Because that's for me, when I get that card, 6 of Swords, it's almost like it's time to let go of those old stories. It's time to kind of get out of that kind of that monkey mind. Sometimes we're kind of up here and we're kind of living up here, and it's like a real invitation for you to kind of drop into your heart more and kind of go, I'm just going to be led by the heart and not let this kind of monkey mind take over. But then you got surrender to creativity. So there's this real sense of like new creative projects coming in, and you kind of taking the reins with those projects too, like not letting other people dictate your kind of journey. Like it's about you kind of bringing the power back to you. And then you also got miracles.
Double
So
rainbow.
for me,
Look at that double rainbow on there.
Like really look out for the signs. I feel like for you, there's this message around like, this card too, like the 3 of Wands. It's like really paying attention to the signs and to kind of what's coming through to you, and really like journaling on. Sometimes the signs don't make sense, and you start to write them all down and kind of really connect to what they are. And suddenly as you pull back, there's like a bit of a map. I always call it a map. It's like, oh, okay, now I know what the signs mean. So start to really pay attention to the signs, because there's a sense of like, there's a lot here. There's a lot of movement and a sense of change and the sense of you coming back into your light and stuff. But it's really about you coming into your heart and going, I'm going to trust this. I'm going to trust the call of my heart. Like it's listening to the heart and not the head. And just letting go of any negative thoughts that are coming in. Just kind of go, thank you for being here, but no, I don't want to listen to you right now. I'm actually coming back into my truth and my power and my creativity.
I feel like for me, with like all the things that happened earlier this year, my focus has been so much on like, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby, and like I have 3 other kids and I want them to feel held and settled in comfort because they lost so much. And so my focus has really been on like all of them and her, like birthing her. And now she's here and I'm like, okay, now I have to like get myself, there, I have to figure out what I want to do for me now. It's like I'm so focused on all of them, and like once they start school tomorrow, once they're like back in school and like everybody is finding their footing, I feel like I can go a little bit more of like, okay, where am I at in all of this?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And just really like when you're doing that, like dream big and like really kind of just because it's amazing how quickly things shift when you kind of dream with your heart, not your head. Like so often we dream with our head.
Yes.
We're thinking logically about what we should want and what we, have had previously. And actually at the moment there's this real message around it is this cosmic reset. Like we've got this black moon on Friday, which is a black moon is like the second new moon in a month. So it's this really powerful energy of like total reset. So it's incredible that your kids are starting school tomorrow, because it's like
Perfect
maybe
timing.
just let them go and then like come in and sit down and meditate and kind of, burn some sage or just kind of really connect to your heart. And, you may find that some really deep messages come through, and really start to attune to the signs this week too, because I feel like there's this sense of, you've got the star and miracles, and there's a sense of like really listening to the kind of the skies and the kind of the signs around you, because I think you're going to be led somewhere a little bit unexpected.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's awesome.
And maybe it's been hard to listen to that because there's been so much noise, and there's been so much like shifting and having to pivot, and now is your time to listen to it, because there's no one more powerful than Sarah with this stuff. Like the signs that this girl gets when she's tuned in.
Signs. But I haven't been tuned in. Have not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what these cards are saying.
It's been so turned down because that's not where my focus has been. My focus has just been on, I've been in a lot of worry of like, are they going to be okay? Are the kids going to be okay? Like, we've just been navigating like where everybody's at, after everything. And then also bringing a baby in, and like that whole situation was crazy. It was a crazy birth and postpartum and all of that. So now it feels like all that dust is settling. And now I'm like, okay, I love that we're doing this, because I do want to tune in again, like.
This is probably why we got you on the podcast. We like felt called to like start cracking this open again.
Yeah.
And it will happen really quickly. That's the thing. People think, oh, I've been out of it. How am I going to, get back in? But I find when I have periods like that, the minute I go, I'm ready, it's like they come in really fast. So I do feel like there's this big shift that will happen quite quickly once you kind of go, okay, I'm ready, I'm surrendering, I'm here, you'll be amazed.
I mean, there was this woman who I talked to, she was a medium, and she said, she made this like joke, but she was like, I see this thing where the moment the baby's out, like you're going to get this call, and she's like, the placenta's out, the baby's out, and then your phone's going to ring, and you're going to have this like job opportunity, and it's going to be like financially great for you. And it was like the moment the baby was out, and it was like a week after this happened. And so I was like, whoa, crazy. Like, and I kept feeling these things, but then I still, my focus has not been there. So that's exciting.
Yeah. It's all divine timing, right? You have to like, sometimes things come in and you're just not ready for them. So, but I do think there's this sense of like, really like letting go of anything that's been coming up for you as well, like with Six of Swords and Judgment, really kind of just journal how you're feeling, what you've been through, all the stuff you've had with the fire and everything. Have you kind of processed that and got it all out and done a bit of a cleanse with it? Because it's really important. Like that's a huge trauma actually. And so you don't want to kind of move forward into this new chapter with any of that hanging over. Of course, it's always going to be there. You can't completely let go of it. But it's like, how can you kind of accept it and kind of go, okay, this has happened. It's part of our story now, but I'm not going to kind of wallow in that moving forward. I'm going to kind of go, okay, it's time to move forward. And so I think maybe do some beautiful journaling. Like I shared a video this week on my Instagram about, with this new moon, like really write down all the things you're ready to kind of let go. And it could even just be the overthinking around what's happened, and, burn it on Friday under the new moon. And then straight away write down what you're planting. Like what are the seeds? What are the kind of creative projects? What are the ideas that you want to see grow in the next chapter? Because I think with dark moons, it's about kind of acknowledging the dark and the light. So that might be a nice thing to do tomorrow when the kids are at school, just really kind of get clear about what you've been through and write it all down and burn it and let it go. Energetically, it's just that then kind of not clinging to you anymore.
Yes, I love that.
This just made me feel like the three of us need to do like a Daisy Dream Circle with the next really powerful moon, where we like do a lot of this kind of thing.
Yes,
that'd be amazing. Yeah, but there's a big, like, there's so much coming energetically in the next couple of months too. So it's a really good time to be doing all this stuff. We've got September's crazy. It's got a full eclipse season.
Crazy.
We've got lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, equinox. So there's this real kind of bubbling of like energy coming. And we've just had Lionsgate. And so it's just like,
Yes.
I feel like from what we've been and what's coming, it's just this huge time. And you can, if you kind of attune to how you can use that, it's so powerful. Like I've been getting so much into astrology and Vedic astrology and primal astrology and like human design over the last kind of year, because you really start to realize that when you start to understand the cycles you're living within, the tides, the patterns, the kind of the energies that are at play, you can more intentionally kind of live your life. So it's incredibly powerful to kind of understand where we're at, astrologically, and it really does affect the collective. It like you can see it. Like now that I'm doing sessions with people too, before you would talk to friends and go, okay, we're all feeling the same thing. But now when I do sessions, it's amazing over a week how everyone who will come in, they're all going through the same stuff. Slightly different stories, but essentially all the same things because it's so collective. So the more you can kind of understand what's happening in the skies and understand your own patterns as well. Have you guys done human design?
Yeah.
I
Isn't that
don't
amazing?
think I have.
Oh my God, Chi, you've got to do it.
Yeah, I have you're talking about like the app on your phone, right? Like there's like a human design app.
You can do it as an app. You can also get a reading done, but it's like a combination of like the I Ching, like astrology. I think there's a whole bunch of different modalities that it uses.
What's crazy about it, Tez, is that it's so spot on with who you are. Like I put in Eric's, you have to know your birth time. So if you don't know your birth
time, my mum doesn't know when I was born.
I know. It's a little, I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it's not on your birth certificate, Tez?
No.
That's so weird.
Really?
It's on birth certificates now. Like,
yeah, I know. I've got my birth certificate and it's not on there. One of my parents thinks 9, one thinks 12. So,
maybe do it and put each one in and see which one feels most like.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Or meet halfway. Like go. You know what you should do? Go 11/11.
I was definitely born at 11/11 for sure. Yeah,
that's right in between 9 and 12.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like you would be a manifester for sure.
Yeah,
and I for Eric's, like it could not have been more accurate. Like
really.
Oh my gosh, it goes into crazy detail. But for me, it's like I'm totally a workhorse. Like I help and I connect people. I'm a major connector. And it was just like, so spot on. And for my husband, who's like, he's kind of the leader of the thing. And like, I don't know. It's just like funny when you start reading about it, you're like, what?
That's me. Was this written just about me? Yeah, I felt like that with the Myers-Briggs when I did the Myers-Briggs personality stuff, and I got like ENFJ, and I was reading it, and it was like the teacher, I think I was, or something.
Yes.
I was the teacher, actually. And it was so funny because I did it for my dad, and my dad was the scientist. And I was like, that's literally him in every single way. And then I kept doing it for other people. And I was like, and then I started guessing other people's. I was like, I think you're a, and then I would be like spot on. It was so cool. So that's right up my alley.
Okay, just quickly, I just pulled a card for you guys together. I was like, okay, what do these girls need to know for the Mother Daze podcast? You know what you got? It's so cool. It says you're about to shine.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we have
so
actually got like a couple of other times. We have got like such validation from people who have read us, healers and psychics and tarot card readers, saying like, you two girls together and this partnership and this podcast, like what it's putting out in the world, you just have to keep going. Like just keep going and doing it because it's powerful, which was so nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But is there something else you want to do though?
Yeah, well, we have big dreams.
Yeah, because I feel like there's something else. There's something
we
bigger.
have big dreams.
Yeah, there's something else. It feels like there's something kind of emerging that you need to take a leap of faith with.
Well, we do have some ideas. Yeah, we've been talking about some ideas, like things that we can branch into and develop further.
Amazing.
And like offerings that we have never offered before. So we've been talking about that a lot recently.
Beautiful. We'll do it because, it's saying it's very,
Oh my
you've got
goodness.
the moon as well. So the moon is like tapping into your intuition and like really trusting your dreams and, go forth and succeed.
I feel like we are powerful together when we did it. I think we were both really in a place where we were doing it before we got pregnant with these babies and before the fire and before, like, we started really developing that side, well, maybe like 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And then I think both of us just like life got busy. It's got so like chaotic, everything that Sarah was navigating. And then we were moving countries and there was just lots of big stuff going on. And I was working constantly and just not in that part of my life.
Yeah.
And it feels like even just the calling to have you on the podcast and stuff, it was like, oh my gosh, this is a new thing that we need to call back in and revisit again.
Yeah, amazing.
And I wanted to ask you quickly as well, for people who, like Sarah and I, are very curious and want to develop it further, where would you suggest people start? Is there a list of books, or do you just pick up a tarot and start going for it? Do you do YouTube videos and watch how people do tarot? Like, where do people start with this stuff?
Look, I think everyone's got intuitive power. And when you start to tap into it, it's amazing how quickly it kind of develops. I mean, for me, I just always had that side. I mean, I've read loads of books, so many different books from Eckhart Tolle to kind of Michael Singer. But I think actually getting a deck of cards is really powerful. Like, I have one deck that I got when I was like 19 that I always use. It's the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And what's so beautiful about that deck is that it's the deck that every other tarot card has been based on kind of since. And the images in those cards are so beautiful. So what I would say is, start pulling cards. Don't read the book. Don't look at the little guidebook. Like, just look at the card, because the images tell you what it's about. And it's really about developing that kind of intuitive sense. Like, I never look at the books anymore. You look at the words, you look at the meanings, you look at the colors, you look at the symbols. And it's amazing how quickly, when you start to look at those cards, that you start to kind of figure out what it means. I always say to clients when they come, like, well, not with every card, of course, but with a couple of cards, I say, what do you see in this card? Like, when you look at this image, what kind of comes up for you? And it's amazing how they just know, like, once they start talking and kind of have that ability to just go, okay, I'm just going to go with this and have a play. So I think get a deck of cards and have fun with it and play, and just start by pulling one card a day and like anchoring into kind of what you think it means. And I always say journal on what you think it means before you look at the book, if you really feel like you need to look at the message. And it will just happen really quickly and evolve over time. But there's heaps of stuff. I mean, we're so lucky now. You can, there is YouTube videos out there of people who will teach you how to read cards or tap into your intuition, and there's practitioners everywhere. But I just think trust yourself, because no one knows your own wisdom like you do. And so often we're looking out there in the world for the kind of answers, but all we have to do is come back here into our kind of heart and our gut.
Oh, I love that. We were just talking about this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast about, Laura Lynn Jackson, who's like so prolific and she's wrote Signs. We had her on the podcast and she did say the same thing. She was like, this is available to everyone. You don't need to go out and outsource with a medium and with you have the abilities within you. And that's when I always know someone's legit. Someone like you is legit, when they're like, just go for it. Like, lean in. We're all intuitive. I really believe that. And it's like, is the sound up or is the sound down? Like, let's start turning the sound up.
Totally. And also everyone's got their own way of doing it. I've got friends who have kind of an ability to kind of see things, or I have friends who get messages in dreams, or I have friends who, do automatic writing and channel. And so you'll find your own unique way of doing it. So, in a way you have to find that for yourself, because, no one's the same. Everyone's got a slightly different frequency and a different way of tuning in.
Wow. And can you just tell everyone where they can find you, and can they book sessions with you online, or do you prefer in person? all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely do online. I do a lot of online because I do readings for people interstate and overseas. So you can find me on Instagram. It's starofthesea.polly. I've also got a website, which is starofsea.com.au. And would love to meet you and do sessions, because the more we do it, the more we share, and I just love that kind of interconnectedness of it all. It's amazing. And every time someone comes in for a session too, I feel like I learn something, because it's that women's circle thing. It is like a kind of an ongoing women's circle, and I think the more we connect and the more we share, the more we all open up our own gifts.
And we need each other. We really do.
Oh my
Particularly
gosh.
now in the crazy world we're in, it's like, my God, it's such a kind of a healing balm to connect on this level, because the world can feel so scary and so chaotic at the moment. So if you're feeling
it
that
is
way,
a
it's a really
balm.
lovely,
That's what it feels like.
It's a balm. Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. And I feel so inspired. Like, now I needed this. I feel like I really needed it. Like, it's after, just after giving birth, and, you're kind of in that little baby bubble for a while. And I'm like I'm really feeling that drive to, like, okay, I really want to go out and figure out, like, my next steps, So
amazing.
I love it.
Oh, that's so good.
Thank you
and
so
it
much.
feels like there's lots coming for you too. So really, like, trust yourself and trust those messages that come through. And please keep me posted on the signs. I want to hear all about. I'm a big believer in too that signs have to be shared, because sometimes, like, I might find that I get signs for you now and I'll send them to you and stuff too. But it's that thing of, like, the more you share it and the more you kind of go, oh, it works, it kind of helps everyone feel like it's, it's real. Because so often our mind comes in and goes, that's a coincidence, or, oh, that's not real. And I say to people, no, the more you trust it and the more you believe and the more you go, that is real, the more it unfolds. So please do share if you get the signs. I'd love to hear.
Amazing. Okay.
And we'll share on the pod, and everyone listening, you guys share with us too. Like, let this be the sign. If you've been waiting for a sign to lean into this stuff, like, listening to this podcast is your sign. It's go time, guys.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Polly. And
thank you.
Ocean has a lot to say today. So.
What she is saying is that you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And please, guys, if you love the show, share it with your friends, rate it for us. That helps us get seen and heard by many more people. We appreciate you guys. We love you, daisies. Thanks, Polly.
Thank you. Bye,
See
guys.
you soon. Bye.